All right, everybody. Well, this is Dr. Justin Traveler, and I'm here with Live to 121, and we're here. We've started a new project. So what we're going to be doing is we are trying to get people to run the half marathon for the Southern Utah Half Marathon. But not just that, more specifically, we want them to sign up under the Kisses For Kycie banner. And so I am here today with Josh and Jamie Terry. This is Kycie's parents, so those of you who had followed the story know them very well. But I just wanted to talk to them a little bit about Kycie and her story, and then how you can get signed up. So Jamie, why don't you tell us a little bit about Kycie?
Okay, so we have 6 boys now, but we had 4 boys at the time and finally got a little girl, and we were very, very excited, and she was the joy of our life, obviously. When she was 5 years old, she got sick and ended up being diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Because of late diagnosis and some complications, she suffered a traumatic brain injury and ended up being at Primary Children's Hospital for 111 days. She never walked or talked again, and ultimately ended up passing away in July of 2015.
Okay. And it was, I will confess as well, I am their neighbor. And so I was there and got to experience. It was difficult and amazing and awesome. All the feeling words that you could use, from the highs to the lows. And so it's continued on though. And her story has really inspired a lot of people. And so that's why it has continued on to this, right? So Josh, why don't you tell us about this half marathon and tell us how to be involved and things that way.
Right, yeah. So it was actually when Kycie was still sick, we saw just the following that Kycie's story had kind of taken on, and we ended up creating a foundation. So the Kisses For Kycie Foundation, it's an official 501c nonprofit organization. And we don't do a whole lot with it, but we try where we can. And so we'll do certain awareness campaigns. And so one of the things that really helped Jamie and I when we were going through all of our struggles and difficulties, and like you said, all the emotions that you get, the highs, but a lot of the lows. And one of the things we found that was therapeutic and helping us was working out, whether going to the gym or running, and so running was one of those. And so with thanks to the St. George Running Center, they've agreed to have Kisses For Kycie be the official charity of the Southern Utah Half Marathon. And so what we've tried to do, we did a little bit of it last year, but we got some runners and we had some shirts printed, and we wanted to do just a nice high quality shirt. The purpose of the shirt, it has Kisses For Kycie logo on the front, and it has the signs and symptoms of type 1 diabetes on the back. And our goal is that we want a nice shirt or a tank top that people wear when they work out. So when they go to the gym or they're out running, and even just to wear, to the store, and so that it's visible and it's something that they feel comfortable in, but yet people can still see the back of the shirt and say, it begs the question, well, what is that shirt, and what is diabetes? What's type 1 diabetes?
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. So it raises awareness. Now, is there we should have cleared this here first, but is it right? Some of the money does that go to the American?
Yeah. So that was, well, no. So you mean the money with the race?
Correct.
Yeah. So there's an entry fee, and St. George Running Center has agreed to have a portion of that entry fee go to the Kisses For Kycie Foundation, and so then that money that we are able to raise through the entry fees, we're going to try and put them towards shirts. We're not sure, if we're going to be able to cover all the shirts. It just depends on how many runners we get, but the shirts and the printing fees, and hopefully get people those shirts.
Awesome. Okay, so this is going to be really neat. Now, I do want to express, now Josh has already said that it helped them to be able to exercise, but they had told me kind of before of running. They've gotten into running. I like to tease Jamie. She is now a runner.
I am a
Josh
runner.
still has not yet said that he's a runner.
I'm not a runner.
But of how how Kysie's story can kind of link to running. And maybe it's January, right? So hopefully you're starting to think of maybe if you have a goal or had been dreaming of doing a half marathon and the difficulties of that, and maybe how this is a great opportunity for you to get started maybe in that. So why don't you tell us kind of the link between Kycie and running?
I am actually not a runner. I will never claim to
Yes,
be a
she
runner.
is.
It's hard. It's so hard. But seeing what Kycie went through, and she had to go through so much therapy for so many months, and relearn everything practically. And I think seeing her go through such a hard thing makes you realize that I can do this hard thing. It's hard, but I can do it because of her, because I know she did something hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times, so when I'm running, there's different phases I've learned when you're running. And as you're doing a race, it's like, oh, my knee hurts. And then that knee pain kind of goes away, but then something else starts to hurt. And then that kind of goes away, and you're like, I'm tired, I need something. And it's just different. Like, you go through these different phases and things, and I've learned, a lot of times you just kind of have to get through that. You just have to push through it, and eventually it's going to go away, and it's going to be okay. And a lot of times I'll go back and think about Kycie during those times when my knee starts to hurt, or my foot's hurting, or I want to start walking, or whatever. I'll think about Kycie and some of the difficulties that she had during her therapy. And there's some really powerful videos of her in the beginning phases of her therapy, where she couldn't even hold her head up, and they would try and count 1, 2, 3, and her head would drop. And by the end of her therapy, she could get 10 seconds or more, which was a huge accomplishment, which is crazy to think that just to hold your head up is an accomplishment. But it was a very big thing for her. And it was very painful for her, very frustrating for her. And so those are thoughts that I have when I run, and help me push through that phase to get to the next one.
That's awesome. Okay, so now, if they're interested, or where hopefully you're thinking, okay, I've got to try it. What do they do? What do they need to do to get signed up?
So to sign up, you go to the St. George, you go to the Southern Utah Half Marathon. I think it's just southernutahhalfmarathon.com. And then you'll go to click the button that says register. And then when you register, and this is the important part, there's 2 little icons, and it says, oh man,
K4K.
Well, but there's 2 of them.
Oh, there's 2.
There's 2 icons. The one's just like entry fee or entry, and then the other one's K4K restricted access. So you got to click that K4K. It stands for Kisses For Kycie. K4K restricted access. Once you click that, then immediately you'll get a passcode bar underneath, and you got to type in Kisses, the number 4, and then Kycie, capital K, capital K. So
the 2 Ks are capital.
Yep. It is case sensitive. And if you get confused, you can always go to our Instagram page at Kisses For Kycie, at JJTerry77, or Facebook Kisses For Kycie, and then there's information on that. But then once you go that, you pipe in the passcode, and then that will put you on there so that we can know who to get shirts to. That entry fee goes to the foundation, and we look forward to making this a really fun event. Yeah.
Now, we don't have information yet, but we're going to be trying to find, if you don't want to run, which come run. But if you don't, that you can make some donations. We'll be watching for that. We'll try and get more information to go donate. Also, if you want to just help out, I talked to Steve at the Running Center, who's heading up the race, and he said if you'd like to volunteer, click on the volunteer button, and under the comment, just write Kisses For Kycie. And so there's going to be groups that are going to be helping out with the Kisses For Kycie there as well. So there's lots of opportunities for you to help out and serve and just get out in your community. With Live to 121, it's live to be 121, or at least make it feel that way. Live a happier and more fulfilled life. This stuff right here, this helping out, Kycie's story, this is the stuff that connects us together and helps us to live. Do you guys have anything else to add?
I think the thing that's been really cool with this whole thing is, because we ran this last year in honor of Kycie, is to see how many people have never ran before. Never. And because all I have to do is throw in, won't you do it for Kycie? and so many people willing to do it because it's for her. And I think that's been the neatest thing, is to see so many people try and work so hard for something that's hard to do.
Yeah, this is a hard goal for someone that's never run a half marathon before, to think about running 13.21. 13.1. I don't know. I just don't get it. But it's a really good goal, and there were a lot of people that ran it last year that had never run a marathon before in their life, and they trained for it and they finished, and it's just a cool feeling when you cross that finish line and you've accomplished something that you put a lot of work in.
And I think they're all coming back, so
That's
Yeah,
true.
there you
yeah,
go.
I'm addicted.
So, see, it's fun.
It's
fun and fulfilling. So, go check it out. We'll get as much information on these sites. We're going to be blasting this video. I can't even say it. It'll be on my YouTube, probably Kysie's YouTube. We're going to just put as many videos, because our goal, first we were thinking 200. I'm saying 500. We can do it. So get out, spread it around, get all your friends out. And anyway, this is Dr. Traveler with Live to 121, and Josh and Jamie Terry, and we're signing out.
See ya.
Thank you.